Hello, Uta here of Trans Widow Uta Hagen YouTube channel with our open daffodil. This is the first one of my inside forced daffodil bulbs to bloom, and it just kind of popped open after looking like this bud on the other side. And I would call this a classic daffodil. It's all yellow. The tube is a little bit darker yellow than the ruffle. And I believe I planted those in last fall. I have to do the math sometime. I think I have planted in more than 1,000 daffodils, daffodil bulbs in the fall of the last 4 years. This video is hopefully a shorter than usual one. I'm telling you about an article that Grace Melton wrote for the Daily Signal. It was published there on that blog on February 22nd, 2024. And it's regarding the World Health Organization, which I refer to alternatively as the WHO and the WHO. They have some kind of statistical classification system of diseases and conditions around the world. And what has happened is, of course, WPATH, the World Professional Association of Transgender Health, which is a lobby group having very few actual professional scientists and doctors in it, they have been advising the WHO because, of course, they have money and power. And they have now gotten the WHO to replace the category called transsexualism with this two-word category, gender incongruence. The WHO says that gender refers to characteristics of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. I don't object to the idea that many expectations of the two sexes are socially constructed. I don't know. I think the WHO should be working on helping women in third world countries to get the nutrition that they need and the protection that they need from sexual assaults and things like that. But they're busy doing this gender stuff, of course. So a gender identity, according to WHO, is a person's deeply felt internal and individual experience of gender. And which has to do with the socially constructed expectations. Okay, it's pretty convoluted. It may involve, here's where we get deeper into the meat of things, pun intended. This may involve, and in quotes, modification of bodily appearance or function by medical, surgical, or other means. I wonder other means must mean the hormones. And also it must mean puberty blockers. And so my interpretation of this is that the lobby groups like WPATH and all of the powerful netties of the world, such as Richard Rachel Levine and Mark Marcy Bowers and David Debbie Hayton, and those, particularly those powerful and moneyed middle-aged men who decided to identify as women, they have a lot of power and money, and so they go around sticking their spoons into all the pots of all of the organizations around the world who really have better things to do than this. And it appears that WHO is moving towards endorsement of so-called, in quotes, gender-affirming care. And There are two people who are clearly lobbyists and not doctors in this advisory group to the WHO. One is Chris McLachlan, who is a South African woman and a WPATH member uh, who identifies herself as a man. And then the other person, I forgot to look this up in the article. I honestly, I think we aren't told the sex. Uh, I would say the name is Cianan. I taught a Kieran. I think it's an Irish name. Cianan, Cianan Russell, who is a member of ILGA Europe, which I looked up their website and I couldn't find what ILGA stands for, but I would guess that it stands for International Lesbian and Gay Alliance Europe. Um, it's funny because it doesn't have any T's or Q's in the acronym. But anyway, that person, Russell, Cianan Russell, is a self-described non-binary. So I suppose, there's all these non-binary identified people taking wrong sex hormones and doing some kind of nullification surgeries, and so they want to promote this so that teenagers and young adults, and who knows how young it will go, all of these individuals in the third world, in developing countries, will be recommended to have access to this, even though in many places girls in the world, in India, don't have access to education. They are not safe. They don't even have access. This I just heard from Vaishnavi Sundar. In the northeast of India, there are often no bathrooms, and women have to run out kind of into the sticks and do their business and just hope that no man is lurking there to sexually assault them. So instead of worrying about that and the safety of those women in northeast India, this group of advisors to the WHO, who are specifically experts on gender, are influencing the WHO to put out statements like this, and extend their influence and extend the access to wrong sex hormones and puberty blockers, and extend the training for all those ill-advised surgeries, which of course is going to make somebody rich. And for example, that doctor in either Washington or Oregon State, I think it's Washington State, who's kind of developing these robots for these surgeries, and he'll plan on being a millionaire once he sells those little robots all over the world. But this advisory group of the Russell and McLachlan variety for the WHO have no doctors. They also have no detransitioners, and of course they have no trans widows. Doesn't even need to be said. And there's a claim here that wrong sex hormones, I'm saying wrong sex, they call them something else, are essential. And of course they call it HRT, hormone replacement therapy, which is a misnomer. And there are these wealthy donors, like the Pritzker type, the James Jennifer Pritzker, who donate to this and funnel the drugs and so on into the developing world. And then they can reap the benefits because they are also investing in those drug companies and in the training for those surgeries, and probably investing in the technology of the robots, and it goes on and on like that. Just follow the money. Now, my experience actually with someone who has decided to be a proponent of all of this cross-sex ideation ideology cult is a local food vendor that I don't go into her store anymore. She goes by a male name and she says that she is a male. And somehow this came up in conversation. I was just kind of realizing what the situation was. I mentioned to her that I'm a trans widow, so she does know that trans widows exist. And I mentioned to her, and I figured, okay, I'm old. She probably isn't going to yell at me and, physically, push me out onto the street or something if I say this, because I said, aren't you concerned about the side effects of the testosterone you're taking? Because I could see that it had caused her to lose all of her hair already. And I could see also that she's morbidly obese. Of course, that's a kind of a work hazard when you're working with food. But I think that is also something there. For example, the study I just posted about yesterday, the Dutch study, omitted people with obesity. And so if if she had been, in the Netherlands seeking all of this, they would have said you have to lose weight first because we don't know if your body dysmorphia is because you are morbidly obese. So this woman is morbidly obese. She confessed to me that she has almost out of control high blood pressure from the testosterone. And I made the calculation that I don't want to become friendly with her. I feel for her. She is a human being who has value. She's providing food. Not too far from me. It would be convenient for me to shop from her, but I'm not going to because I don't want to feel emotionally close to her. I don't want to start caring in any kind of personal way about her because she is at grave, grave risk for liver or kidney failure, pulmonary embolism, stroke, heart attack, etc. And also because she said she regards it as her mission to educate people that it's not so rare. And that we need to tell these teen girls that this could be very real for you, that you think you should be a boy when you don't like having your period. So this is the thing. This is the proof that it is very cult-like. Because the moment they start saying maybe it's not for everyone, maybe I shouldn't be promoting this with the younger generation, then they start actually realizing that I might have some doubts. I have to let in these doubts, and maybe I made a mistake. Meanwhile, I'm going to go look and see if there are any buds on my outside daffodils and do my stick walk. And I have lots of housework to do. I have much more appealing outside work to do. I'm trying to raise the level of my strawberry bed so that I don't have to dig down so far. But that involves a lot of schlepping, a lot of real gender incongruence. Hauling rocks. Yeah, using tools. I might even use an axe on something out in the woods.